Hi there, and welcome to the Gerry Anderson channel. I'm Ross Arrowsmith, and as today is International Women's Day, we're going to take a look at some of the most iconic moments from women across the worlds of Gerry Anderson. We're not ranking them in any kind of order system, as that's very subjective, so think of this more as a celebration of some characters' best moments. Let's dive right in. Number 5. Stingray, the Big Gun. Marina saves the day. This episode of Stingray sees a particularly destructive threat pitted against the Wasps. The people of an undersea city called Soluster have perfected a weapon that can destroy entire land masses, and they're willing to use it. One of Soluster's citizens, Maritimus, is stopped by Stingray from destroying a power station on the west coast of America, but having ejected in an escape pod, is ordered to destroy Marineville in revenge.
We must locate the Terranian vessel's base.
Marineville has a near miss, with its defences able to stop the missile before it hits. Stingray goes in pursuit and is soon lured into the deeper depths of the ocean. It seems Maritimus intends to ambush them as Stingray buckles under the water pressure, exceeding its maximum operating depth.
Stingray won't take much more of this.
Understandably, it's all too much for Troy and Phones, who pass out just as Maritimus is moving in for the kill.
0.
But the day is saved in just a split second as the trusty Marina manages to fire off a Sting missile, destroying his vessel. After destroying Soluster itself, they make their escape back home. It seems that thanks to Marina being a creature of the depths, she was impervious to the pressure, and it's just one of a good handful of times that she comes in to save the day in the nick of time.
You know, I think she's the greatest girl in the world.
Number 4. Terrahawks, Child's Play. Mary Falconer gets Groundhawk to safety. The Terrahawks face a new foe. Zelda's newest family member, Itstar, travels to Earth with Youngstar to enact a devious scheme. Using a hyper-explosive mixture of the natural minerals on Mars, Itstar plots to lure the Terrahawks to a solitary spot with the threat of a huge bomb. Hearing of the danger, Ninestein and Mary Falconer arrive at the danger zone, spotting the bomb in no time. Their only option is to try and defuse it using Groundhawk, a new vehicle that Mary is specially trained to use.
I've got 150 special training hours in Groundhawk. How long have you got?
Despite being subordinate to Ninestein, she persuades him that she's the obvious choice to go out and defuse the bomb. But this is all playing into Itstar's plot. The bomb doesn't seem to be giving off any readings. It doesn't take long for Mary to see through the deception. The bomb is fake, and she promptly destroys it.
All my instruments and my intuition. You know what they're telling me? They're telling me this thing is a fake. An empty shell.
But Itstar's trap is triggered nonetheless, and there's only one escape route now for Mary.
The Terrahawk named Mary is trapped. And the accursed Ninestein will watch her die.
She's ordered to eject using the escape capsule, but she's determined not to let the Groundhawk prototype be destroyed. Her only option is to make a break for it across the minefield. Using all her skill, concentration and reflexes, she makes a brave journey to safety. Ninestein and Johnson can only look on in desperation as the exploding mines fill the air with smoke and debris.
I've lost her in the smoke.
Thanks to some brilliant driving and with her training hours clearly paying off, Mary manages to get the vehicle and herself to safety.
She did it! Of course she did.
It's a close one for the Terrahawks, and an escapade that makes them realise they are facing a new foe. Somebody, perhaps even more cunning than Zelda herself. Number 3. Captain Scarlet and the Mysterons seek and destroy the aerial dogfight. Captain Black intercepts some valuable cargo at a warehouse, killing the driver of the transporter and setting fire to the place. When the wreckage is surveyed, it seems the building was housing 3 new Spectrum Angel interceptors on their way to be sprayed and tested. Just then, 3 aircraft overfly the warehouse, looking suspiciously like the craft that would have been destroyed in the fire.
I'd say they were those 3 Angel aircraft destroyed in the fire.
It seems the Mysterons' latest plot is already unfolding, as they threaten to kill one of the Spectrum Angels. Destiny Angel is the only one away from Cloud Base, making her the most likely target. Captain Scarlet and Captain Blue are sent to retrieve her, but are ambushed on their way to the airport by the 3 Mysteronized Angel aircraft. What follows is some brilliant model effects work from the Century 21 team as the real Angels arrive to engage the Mysteronized planes.
Here they come. Looks like this is it.
No, look.
Harmony Angel shoots one of them down, but is then hit and forced to eject. Rhapsody Angel dispatches another, leaving the third plane to perform a suicidal nosedive, crashing into a building, aiming to lure the pursuing Melody Angel into crashing as well. Melody knows better, however, and reacts quickly enough to avoid crashing. It's a brilliantly tense sequence, and probably the best episode showcasing the abilities of the Angels, fighting against aircraft with exactly the same capabilities as their own. The Spectrum saloon car is reduced to a charred wreck, but Destiny Angel is safe.
She's a great pilot.
You're all great pilots. That's what saved us.
Number 2. New Captain Scarlet, Proteus. Lieutenant Green versus the killer robots. Colonel White, Captain Scarlet, and Lieutenant Green are aboard a new stealth warship called Proteus, examining its capabilities to seemingly disappear in broad daylight. It's not long before the Mysterons strike, however, taking control of the ship's computer and putting it onto an intercept course for a Chinese warship, the destruction of which would certainly start a world war. The captain and first officer are taken over by the Mysterons, as well as all of the maintenance robots, now roaming the ship as mechanized killers. They injure Colonel White, and it's up to Lieutenant Green to defend him, whilst Captain Scarlet finds a way to stop the warship.
He doesn't stand a chance without you.
Yes, he does. He's got you.
Despite her obvious fear, she puts up one hell of a fight in a great sequence, gunning down drone after drone, even having to use Colonel White's gun as they relentlessly advance on her. The fear soon dissipates as she fights for her life. Running out of ammo and taking the initiative, she uses a charge to disable the last drone.
Say hello to the junkyard!
She then single-handedly manages to get the Colonel to safety, whilst Captain Scarlet blows up the ship. These scenes with Green are so great because up to now we've only really seen her on Skybase as a technician, but in this episode her bravery and skill really shine through when she's forced outside her normal duties. For saving Colonel White's life, she rightfully earns promotion to captain, but graciously rejects it in order to stay at his side. The whole thing is an iconic sequence, and there's a nice bit of character building in new Captain Scarlet.
I'd rather stay a lieutenant. I'd rather stay with you.
And I rather hope that was what you would say.
Number 1. Thunderbirds, Brink of Disaster. Lady Penelope evades the crooks. Lady Penelope is one of the most iconic characters in Thunderbirds, especially paired as a duo with Parker. But if you had to pick a scene that showed her at her best as a secret agent for international rescue, it would have to be the opening scene of Brink of Disaster. But let us know in the comments if you disagree. Whilst on her way home in Fab 1, she picks up a tail, 2 crooks with dubious intentions. She's aware of them, but remains calm, carefully making sure they are indeed villains.
I'd better make sure the men are who I think they are. I don't want to cause a scene unnecessarily.
In a nice contrast to Vault of Death, where Penelope doesn't seem to have learned to drive, her skill in this moment is masterful, speeding off and deploying various gadgets against them. She's pretty much the female James Bond. First of all, the smoke from Fab 1 fails to throw off her pursuers.
Their car must be fitted with radar-assisted steering. I'll have to try something else.
Then the slippery substance she pours onto the road doesn't work either. Throughout, she speaks with calm. It's almost as if this encounter is just a normal day for her. It's super classy, and a great vocal performance from Gerry Anderson.
But they leave me no choice.
Finally, with some brilliant special effects work, the crooks are gunned off the road. This sequence doesn't really have much to do with the rest of the episode, so we can only imagine what sleuthing she was up to beforehand. But there we have it. There are many more Lady Penelope moments to choose from, and many more female characters from across the Anderverse who all have great moments. It extends behind the scenes too. Gerry Anderson as one of the major creative forces in the Century 21 team, right through to the actors, puppeteers and sculptors as well. Their contribution cannot be understated. Happy International Women's Day.